710 Keel is your news and weather station.
Attorney General Louisiana AG Jeff Landry. Hey, Mr. Jeff, how you been, man? Thank you for joining us once again.
Anytime. Thank you.
Jeff, we have to talk about Orlando first out of the gate today. Tragic situation. Is there anything government could have done to prevent it?
Well, yeah, that's the unfortunate circumstances that we find ourselves in. I mean, if you go back and you look at the things that we have done over the past couple of decades and the way that we've treated immigration, the way that we have ignored the fact that radical Islam is hell bent on inflicting terror on Americans, the persecution of Christians around the world. The list goes on. And then you couple that with the court decisions that have come out over the past decades that basically infer additional rights on criminals and tie law enforcement's hands. And I think that when you put all of those ingredients into the pot, you end up with the tragic events that we had over the weekend. And we continue to see that. And until we face the fact here in America of what we truly are facing, we're going to continue to, unfortunately, have to deal with these types of events, and innocent people are going to lose their lives.
Jeff, should we be afraid this could happen in Shreveport, Bossier, New Orleans, anywhere in our state?
Well, I mean, we should be vigilant in the fact that it can happen anywhere in the United States. You know, it was ironic that just last week I had two different briefings from two different organizations and the Department of Homeland Security regarding radical Islam. It's unfortunate that the President of the United States refuses to recognize that, and when he fails to recognize that as the leader of our federal government, and of course those agencies, he leads those agencies that are responsible for keeping us safe. It creates a chilling effect on the security that is vital to keep us all safe.
Mr. Jeff Guy from the FBI said yesterday, I heard him say, he said, there are so many open cases. There's so much the FBI, so many cases of possible terrorism that the FBI is currently investigating. I think his statement was, we just don't have the resources. A, that kind of should scare the hell out of everybody. B, that puts a lot more responsibility on the individual states. What can those individual states do?
Well, again, that was part of the briefing that we had last week, part of the discussion that we had with different organizations in relation to radical Islam. I think the states and our local law enforcement agencies can be part and parcel of the particular solution. Of course, it's tough for us. Again, at the time that I'm getting a briefing, the governor and the Senate are cutting my budget by over 25%. Again, I think the problem we have in this country is prioritization. Is looking at the fact that government has limited funds, that the taxpayer out there isn't some unlimited ATM machine, and then prioritizing between our wants and our needs. The security and the safety of all Americans and all Louisianians, it should be first and foremost. And so, we're gonna work, inside the Louisiana Department of Justice to collaborate with our federal partners in trying to keep Louisianians safe.
Mr. Jeff, let me go back to something, because you said something that just kind of gave me a little chill. You said recently you've had meetings at the federal level, Homeland Security, and they're giving you updates on radical Islamic potential terrorist activities here in the United States, specifically here in Louisiana.
Well, what they're doing.
Meanwhile, the President of the United States says, despite all the evidence of radical Islam, the president says, well, we're going to get to the bottom of this. There's a disconnect there that scares the heck out of me.
Well, it should. It scares the heck out of me as well. And look, that's why, Louisianians out there can rest assured that we're going to do everything we're capable of doing with the resources that we have in order to collaborate with our federal partners and work with local law enforcement agencies to bring to light the importance of combating radical Islam around the country, and especially in Louisiana. But yeah, Louisianians should be vigilant. I mean, it exists right here in our particular state. There is no state that is immune to the problems that exist or existed in Florida as a whole. I mean, we should recognize that radical Islam knows no boundaries, and that the things that we do, the choices that we make, have the ability to either snuff it out or, to again, unfortunately, turn a blind eye, which is basically what the president is doing. And then what that does is it places innocent lives at danger.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. There are those who say there are places where gun owners cannot take their guns. This nightclub is one of those places. Should we change that?
Well, I mean, look, as soon as this happened, unfortunately, I've seen these tragedies. We've all seen these tragedies unfold across the country over the past decade, and we get the same response. It's about gun control. It's not about gun control. It's about controlling radical Islam. And again, I think that an argument can definitely be made that had someone in that nightclub had a concealed weapon, that they could have done a lot more good and maybe prevented additional innocent lives from being lost.
Jeff Landry, Louisiana Attorney General, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Okay, take care.